man who won't be led by God will be controlled by everything else: his emotions, his ego, his appetites, his insecurities. And most men don't even realize they're being controlled because they think they're free. You think you're making your own decisions, but you're reacting to your anger, your lust, to what somebody said about you online, to the pressure of looking successful. None of that is freedom. That's slavery with no chains. A man without God at the center doesn't lead his own life. He manages his impulses. He wakes up every day negotiating with the worst parts of himself, and sometimes he wins, but most days he doesn't. And over time, those small losses compound into a life he never planned for. Broken relationships, empty success, driven decisions he can't take back. When you submit to God, real submission, not Sunday morning submission, something shifts. You stop being tossed around by every emotion and every temptation because you've got an anchor, a standard that doesn't move based on how you feel that day. Your ego can't lead you somewhere stupid because you already gave the will to someone wiser than you. But that's what most men struggle with: submission. Because the world taught us that submission is weakness, that a real man doesn't bow to anything. But the strongest men that I know, the ones with real peace, real families, real legacy, they all have one thing in common: they let God lead before they try to lead anybody else. Saul never submitted. He had the anointing, the throne, the army, the opportunity, and kept making decisions based on what the people wanted, what his ego needed, what his fear demanded. God removed the kingdom from him, not because he was the worst man, but because a man who can't be led can't lead. David submitted, wasn't perfect, not without failure, but when God corrected him, he bent. And that posture, the willingness to be held accountable to something higher than himself, is what made him a man after God's own heart. Not his talent, not his victories, his submission. A man anchored to God is the hardest man in the world to manipulate because you can't leverage what he already surrendered. Leadership starts with submission, not to people, to purpose. And purpose only comes from the one who created it for you. You can lead a business, a family, a movement, but if you can't be led by God, everything you build is one decision away from collapsing.